Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the April Fool's What If. And I know you guys have been waiting ages for this, and I'm sorry. It took me 3 hours to write a script, because I thought, okay, it's my first time doing a movie in the sitting, and I struggle after 20 minutes to keep an idea going, so I might as well try to script it. And oh my god, I have respect for people who script it. It's helped me decide that scripting ain't really for me. I'm going to stick with my only write down the main points I want to go over. But other than that, guys, I do hope you enjoy this movie, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below what else you want to, anything else you want to see. Hit that like button, subscribe to me, it helps me a lot more than you know. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss another daily upload. And what else? Just go down into the description and follow my thumbnail artist. He is an amazing person. He's always helping me out. Like, he was on holiday and he took the time out of his day. Literally, he was on holiday with his family and he took the time out of his day to make a thumbnail for me. So yeah, other than that, guys, I'm not going to waste your time for too long. Let's get straight into the movie. We start on a cold night in the Leaf Village. The Nine-Tails is attacking. And everything goes the same as in canon. Obito takes control of the Nine-Tails to make him go on a rampage. The fourth Hokage managed to fight him off and make him lose his control, and then ends up bodying him. But I can't change this what if enough for where both his parents survive. That doesn't happen. Minato and Kushina jump in the way of the Nine-Tails Fox, who was about to impel Naruto and getting impelled theirself. And before his last breath was drawn, Minato used the Reaper Death Seal to tear out the Nine-Tails soul and seal it inside of Naruto. After their death, the third Hokage managed to arrive and see the baby laying on the ground. Kushina's last wish to him was to make sure that her baby lived a good life, a happy life, away from hate. But if you watch this, we all know the third Hokage is a proper muppet and he doesn't go through with this. As Naruto grows up, the third Hokage tried keeping it a secret that he was the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, but Danzo leaked the information, and as such, he grew up being hated by the entire village, living in the ghetto, given a innocent ramen and spoiled milk to survive on. It was literally hell for Naruto, but little did he know that hell was about to become a lot worse. We now go to Naruto, who was about 4. Not about 4, sorry. He's about 6 years old. And most of the abuse that he gets from the villagers were verbal abuse, or he gets some stuff chucked in him, but this night was different. Some shinobis were drunk and they began to attack Naruto brutally, punching and kicking him. And the ramen guy, Toichi I think his name is, I'm just going to call him the ramen guy by the way, he sees this and he's disgusted. He's after the 1,000 years that he's watched over this world, he's getting disgusted by the sickness of humanity and their cruelness. He steps out and he says, "Enough!" But the shinobi don't listen, they just laugh at him saying, "Piss off, old man." After hearing this, the ramen guy gets really annoyed, and his eyes open slightly, just for barely anyone to see, and all of a sudden the shinobis who are hitting Naruto get blown away into a wall and get knocked unconscious. This ramen guy picks up the unconscious Naruto and takes him into his shop. Naruto wakes up and the ramen guy says to him, "Kid, how would you like to come live with me?" Naruto says, "Really?" Because he knows the ramen guy. This is the guy that feeds him when he doesn't have money. He goes, would you really let me live with you? That would be amazing." And the ramen guy says there's one condition. If you have to live under me, you have to listen to every single thing I say. You have to train however I say. And if you do that, I think there's a good chance that you're going to be the best shinobi in the world. Naruto immediately replies saying, "Yes, of course, anything, as long as I get a home." Hearing this, the ramen guy smiles. He's finally going to get to give this kid he's always wanted to help a good life. And let me give you some background on this ramen guy. He isn't a human. He's a different breed. He's been alive for thousands of years. He made it his sole duty to protect this universe. But let me just say he's a god of some sort. The god of gods, how I'd put it. Not the Otsutsuki god, a different type of god, even above that. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but you'll understand eventually. After Naruto agrees, the ramen guy begins his training. He gives Naruto at this point, by the way, is very, very thin. He's malnourished. The ramen guy gives Naruto a bowl of ramen and says, eat that should fill you up. And of course, Naruto immediately agrees. As soon as Naruto slurps on this ramen, his body begins to steam, it becomes hot. All the weight that he lost instantly gets filled out. And some energy Naruto's never felt before is swirling around his body like he's just been pumped full of energy. Pumped full of power, shall I rephrase. And Naruto says, I feel amazing, old man. And he puts his hand on the side to jump up. But all of a sudden, Naruto's hand rips through the side. And this side was made out of solid concrete. Naruto looks down and says, I'm sorry. Ramen guy laughs and says it's fine. He places his hand on where Naruto broke it and it repairs itself. Naruto is confused by this, but he's not going to ask questions. And Naruto says, well, I guess I'm going to go home. And the ramen guy says, what are you talking about? This is your home now. I told you could live with me. Naruto's eyes light up and he said, thanks. We now have a little time skip to a week later. Naruto has been training with the ramen guy to learn more about his powers, to gain control of his strength. And today he was walking out of the ramen shop, to go to a shop to get a chocolate bar. And them shinobis who were there before, who were drunk yet again, said, hey, you demon brat. You got lucky last time I fell over. But you're not getting away with it this time. By the way, yes, that's Smash. That's why I'm putting on that voice. They begin to rush at Naruto, and at first Naruto's heart drops, but then he realises, wait, I'm ready for it this time. Naruto easily dodges out the way with one punch, and there's a left hook. He hits this guy so hard you could hear the crack of his jaw. He got sent flying backwards. The other shinobi who were about to attack him get scared, but Naruto ain't gonna let them run off. He jumps in the air, booting one of them in the chin, another one directly in the chest, and knees the other one's face. Every single one of them has at least one broken bone, and they begin running away saying, you demon brat, you're gonna pay for this. Sorry guys. Naruto is roughly right now 6, so we're gonna have a time skip for about roughly a year and a half. In this year and a half, Naruto has learned a bunch of special jutsus just for him. His favourite run is the Ramen gun. And I know what you're thinking, wait a minute, is that, yes it is, you're going to understand more. And, you know what, ASMR, early. And not only does he learn these special types of jutsu, the ramen guy also teaches him self-control, as when you have this type of power, losing your emotions can be a big problem. As well as, he loses to Naruto and he introduces him to the Nine Tails. At first it was an issue, but with the ramen guy's backup on it, the Nine Tails literally had no control in this domain. And eventually had no choice but to start talking to Naruto, and very quickly they became friends. Even though Naruto was a child, this is what made it easier. He was untouched by human hatred. He didn't have the desire to control the Nine Tails. And eventually, the guardian of the ramen man, Kurama and Naruto began to somewhat utilize each other's chakra. Not exactly using KCM, but to utilize their chakra for healing, or the One Tail's cloak. After this, Naruto is about to be enrolled into the academy, and ramen guy says, before you go, I've made you 2 special bowls of ramen. Naruto of course slurps these down, and one of these bowls of ramen makes Naruto a complete genius. Like, I mean, an IQ. Oh, you're lucky it's April Fool's Day, or I would have smashed you. Joke, and I did it anyway. And I really shouldn't have done that. Oops, not my fault. But anyways, Naruto is made a complete genius by this ramen. And as well, the other one, he felt power rush into his eyes, but that was going to be trained separately. Naruto is enrolled into the academy, and he's always top dog there. He also ends up becoming friends with Sasuke, and unlike canon, when Sasuke's entire clan was slaughtered, him and Naruto were already close friends before that. Naruto was the only one Sasuke would confide in. After the death of his entire clan, him and Sasuke just got closer and closer and stronger together. Naruto stays at the ramen guy's house, of course, and he always invites Sasuke to come around. Although Sasuke doesn't get any special ramen, he is still fed, and the ramen guy looks after him just as he looks after Naruto. Eventually, we reach the final day of the academy, and Naruto is placed first and is given the Genin of the Year. Or not the Genin of the Year, I mean. Actually, yeah. The Genin of the Year. As he placed first, he became a Genin. But Sasuke challenges him to fight for the rightfully first place. And this is mainly for two things. To see how far he's grown and to test if he's actually ready to hunt down Itachi, as Naruto just reminds him of Itachi. Naruto's strength, Naruto's wisdom, the way he talks. And normally this would piss Sasuke off, but the way he's grew up with Naruto, he does look at Naruto as an older brother, so he doesn't seem hatred for Naruto, he only sees love. And as such, this fight that they were both waiting for begins. At first, Naruto was planning to take it easy on Sasuke. He was just dodging and dodging and dodging, not even throwing punches, and the ones he did throw barely did any damage. But Sasuke soon realised that Naruto's taking it easy on him, and he yells, "Don't you dare take this easy on me!" After seeing the determination in Sasuke's eyes, a fire is lit within Naruto. And he smiles and says, "Don't forget this, Sasuke. You're the one who asked for it." And he punches him hard, sending him flying across the training arena and knocking him out cold. Sasuke is of course taken to the infirmary, and in fact, after this, Mitsuki approaches Sasuke, saying, "By the way, after seeing your strength, I think I'm confident enough to tell you this. The secret test to be promoted straight to Jonin is to steal the sacred scroll ceiling and meet me in the forest of death." Naruto doesn't entirely fall for this plan, but he's blinded by the urge, the desire to make this ramen guy proud. He's taken him off the streets, he trained him, he can't even steal this scroll, who is he? So, and of course, Naruto steals the sacred scroll of ceiling, but he isn't like the normal Naruto in canon. He steals it so well and has a fake replacement ready, so no one even notices that it was stolen. Naruto meets Mitsuki, who's shocked for one that he didn't get notified that Naruto stole the sacred scroll of ceiling. But he was thinking, "Oh, this makes it a lot easier, I won't have people on me now." Before Naruto can say anything, Mitsuki attacks him thinking he's weak by throwing a giant shuriken at Naruto. But Naruto picks his arm up and blocks it, without any weapon, just his base skin, and the shuriken shatters. Mitsuki is shocked when he sees this, and he dives towards Naruto thinking, "Damn it, I need to end this quickly." But Naruto slowly opens his eyes to reveal the Rinnegan. This is the other ability he gained from that special ramen. The world around Naruto begins to slow down, as if time itself was slowing down, as in reality it was. This is his Rinnegan's special ability, the ability to slow down time. As Mitsuki slowly falls down towards him, Naruto pulls his arm to his side and yells, "Ramengan!" Deactivating his Rinnegan, Mitsuki slams into it. The Ramengan isn't like the Rasengan. The Rasengan is just a crappy copy of it that Minato created while peeking on the Ramen guy's trainer one day. The Ramengan is made up of strands of pure chakra, similar to the shape of ramen noodles that are spinning in every single direction at the speed of light at the same time, causing it to look like just a plain ball of white light with ramen noodles spinning around it. This jutsu is impossible for any normal shinobi, any normal person to do, as it takes up, let's say, 100 Kakashi's worth of chakra to use it, but due to Ramen guy's special training, it's possible for Naruto to do it with ease. And when Mitsuki is hit with this, the bottom half of his body explodes, causing death within a few minutes. Iruka arrives just in time, as he realised the scroll was fake, and Naruto's story was, he was training in the forest, and Mitsuki was running away with the scroll. And something didn't feel right with Mitsuki running away, so Naruto stopped him. He didn't mean to cause a fight. He literally just asked him where he was going, and Mitsuki attacked him with a massive shuriken. Naruto was barely lucky to dodge it, and it shattered when it hit a tree. And then he used his strongest jutsu. Iruka seen your strongest jutsu, what could that be? And Naruto realises he needs to fake it, and he passes out, pretending it's from chakra absorption. After this, Team 7 is formed, and it's Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto. And while they're sitting there waiting for Kakashi to arrive, Naruto gets bored and he begins to fall asleep, going into his own mind zone, and ends up speaking to Kurama. Kurama says, "I've heard about your teacher, he's Kakashi of the Sharingan. He's a great teacher, you should be happy." And Naruto goes, I am happy, but he's late. Kurama begins laughing, saying, from what I remember being inside your mother. Naruto goes, hold up, you was inside my mum. Kurama goes, not like that, you dirty little brat. She was my Jinchuriki before you. And he goes, oh, what was she like? And he goes, she was a beautiful woman, a hothead, but beautiful. And I had respect for her being able to control me. Before he could finish, Kurama goes, well, your sensei's nearly here. All I need to tell you, he's strong. Kakashi walks in, and he looks at the squad, and he hears that Naruto is insanely strong, and he goes, this team is gonna be interesting. He tells them all to go to the roof, and body flickers to it, but Naruto body flickers at exactly the same time, even getting there before him, and seeing this, Kakashi's caught off guard. And he goes, so you're Naruto Uzumaki, I've heard a lot about you. Naruto goes, oh, my reputation precedes me. Kakashi laughs a bit, saying he reminds me of Obito. But he then asked when Team 7 finally shows up. When they finally show up, he asked them, okay, what is your dreams, your aspirations, your like? And everyone answered the same thing, except for when it got to Sasuke. He says, I like being friends with Naruto, he's like a brother to me. And I hate a certain person that me and Naruto would kill with all our might. And it goes to Naruto. And Naruto says, I like ramen. My dislikes are people who think they're stronger than me. And my goal is to prove to the world that I am the strongest that there will ever be. And that ramen is the best food that ever existed. Kakashi laughs, saying, interesting. And they go to do the bell test. He explains it, and Sakura goes, there's only one bell. That means one of us won't graduate. And Kakashi goes, I fail to see how that's my problem, you know. Like, figure it out amongst yourself. Sasuke and Sakura run into the woods, but Sasuke sees that Naruto isn't running. And he runs back to them, because he ain't going to let Naruto fight on his own. Naruto looks at him and says, it's fine, I need to make a point. So Sasuke calls jumps away. And the bell test starts. Kakashi doesn't actually start reading Makeup Paradise this time, as he knows that Naruto's insanely strong. So this time he takes the initiative. He begins to try landing a few blows on Naruto, but Naruto just seems to be dodging. But then suddenly Naruto starts throwing punches back. And I mean a bunch of them, and nearly all of them are landing. Kakashi's scared at first, thinking, damn it, no. But then he realizes these punches are literally doing nothing to him. And he's thinking, what? I've been warned about this kid, he's meant to be the strongest there is. But these punches are literally doing nothing against me. That's when he realizes Naruto must be holding back. At this rate, Kakashi gets pissed off and says, after he realizes that Naruto's holding back, he says, you should never hold back on a battlefield, and he launches a fireball to scare Naruto into going serious, thinking that Naruto will just dodge it, but Naruto runs directly through the fireball at insane speeds, taking no damage. Kakashi thinks, damn it, he's about to go serious. But in reality, Naruto just goes to hit him lightly again. Kakashi begins to lecture Naruto yet again about how he should never hold back or he get killed, and Naruto begins to laugh and says, who said I'm holding back? Kakashi falls to one knee as he feels his chakra getting drained at an insane rate. He laughs, saying, so you're draining my chakra now, huh? Naruto says, not exactly, putting his hands back towards himself as Kakashi's body begins to get mangled slightly, getting pulled in weird directions. Naruto reveals himself to be holding something looking like ramen noodles made out of chakra, all connected to Kakashi. He proceeds to then slurp them down, like eats them all. And in reality, he's actually eating the chakra that he stole from Kakashi. And he says to him, these little ramen noodles made out of chakra were stealing your chakra. He then proceeds to body flicker in front of Kakashi, saying, let me show you what real strength is if you want to say I'm holding back. He then proceeds to lean all the way back and one punches Kakashi from the training ground straight into the hospital room, breaking the wall, landing on the bed unconscious with a broken nose. After a week, Kakashi's fully recovered, and Team 7 get their first C-class mission. Due to Naruto and Kakashi's strength, the third Hokage is confident they could handle it. Tazuna comes in drunk, and he begins going, oh, look at you pink-headed brat. But then Naruto gives her a vibe, and it gives Tazuna like a feeling in his gut that, hey, I shouldn't be fucking with these kids, you know. And due to this, he decides maybe, you know what, I ain't gonna mess with these kids. And he shuts up. So they leave the Leaf Village and they begin walking to the Land of Waves. While walking, Naruto spots the puddle and immediately sorry guys, my audio cut out. And Naruto immediately recognizes that there's a puddle there on a sunny day. He's like, wait a minute, am I stupid? You think I'm gonna fall for there being a puddle on a sunny day? You are some joke, man. And Naruto activates his Rinnegan without anyone notices and mumbles under his breath, Almighty Pool. Deactivating his Rinnegan before anyone notices as well. I know, it's impressive, right? The two demon brothers fly towards Naruto, getting choke slammed and both of them getting knocked out. At this moment, Kakashi senses danger and he yells to everyone to duck. And every single one of them ducks except for Naruto. And a massive sword flies out from the trees, hitting Naruto directly on his neck. But Naruto's completely fine, where this sword is shattered. That's when it happens. Zabuza jumps out, and he's caught off guard, and he attempts to ask Naruto's questions. And he goes, I'm Zabuza, one of the legendary ninja swordsmen. How the hell did you break my sword? Who are you? But as he's asking these questions, Naruto rushes in, yelling, Ramen! And he slams it into Zabuza's body, completely obliterating it, killing him in a matter of seconds. And he mutters under his breath, weakness. At this moment in time, a masked kid Naruto sees that rushes in. We know this to be Haku. He's enraged. He rushes at all of them, launching Senbon after Senbon. And Kakashi recognizes that's a huge danger. They can't do something quick. They're all gonna get killed. But Naruto's not bothered, and he yells, Ramen style, Ramen barrier jutsu. And a wall of ramen is made out of, well, not actual ramen, like it's like ramen noodles, but they're all made out of chakra. So it don't actually look like ramen. Like, it don't have the colour ramen, but it looks like what they would look like, but they're blue made out of chakra, of course. And the wall forms, blocking all the Senbon. Then this ramen shoots out, wrapping all around Haku's body and finally around Haku's neck. He's struggling against it. Enraged still, Naruto says, may death come to you quickly. And he snaps his fingers. Haku is lifted up into the air and then dropped, being hung by the ramen. His neck immediately snaps, causing an instant death. And this time both Zabuza and Haku's body is absorbed by the ramen wall, and Naruto then ends up eating this ramen. This gives Naruto not only their abilities, their chakra natures, also adds their chakra to his own. Seeing this, Sakura feels sick to her stomach, and she goes, you're a monster. Before Naruto can even react to this, Sasuke pimp slaps her, saying, how dare you call my brother a monster? Say it again and I'll kill you. In this fit of rage, and also the trauma from nearly getting killed, Sasuke's eyes begin to glow red, and Naruto smiles, lights up, saying, Sasuke, your Sharingan is activated. He says, what? And he looks at a puddle. He sees it, he goes, what the fuck? My Sharingan, you're right. And they both begin to get gassed up. Sakura is broken to her core. Her crush has pimp slapped her. And Kakashi is also slightly saddened by Naruto's ability to kill with such ease, with no hesitation. But he's also sort of proud of it. It takes a strong ninja to be able to do that with such ease. And one sec guys, I'm turning my mic up the tiniest little bit. Because what I'm seeing in this in my audio, it's literally doing zigzags and it's really pissing me off. But anyway, let me get back onto my script. When they get to the Land of Waves, Naruto ends up dealing with the bandits that attack with ease. He literally just deals with 55% of them, Kakashi deals with 30% of them, and Sasuke deals with the rest. Naruto literally destroys them all with one Ramen, as their explosion it causes is enough to kill them all. And then Kakashi and Sasuke deal with the rest of them. At this point, Tazuna has an insane respect for Naruto. He's insanely strong. He protected their village. He protected him and in turn protected his family. And as such, the bridge was named the Bridge of Naruto Uzumaki. They end up heading back to the Leaf Village and are given a week off. Naruto and Sasuke immediately rush back into the ramen shop and talk all about their mission. The ramen guy says, congratulations you two, I'm proud. Naruto ends up asking to talk to the ramen guy in private, and he whispers in his ear, can we give Sasuke at least a spit of a special ramen to help his Sharingan get stronger? I don't want to have to see him go through all that hardship just to strengthen it. The ramen guy hears this and smiles and says, fine, just for you Naruto. And he makes them up a special ramen both for Naruto and Sasuke. This one just made Naruto's body fill out a bit. Of course, Naruto's body has been already forced to the limits. Like, he's insanely strong. This ramen, the one that he ate as a kid, made his body force to the human limits. Like, it's insanely powerful. It's like doing what the 8 gates do, but without the drawback of it. This one ended up toning Naruto's body to like a 6-pack, some muscles and all that. When Sasuke ate this one, it had a delayed effect, so he wouldn't catch on. And within 3 days, Sasuke's full Sharingan would awaken his like through Tomoe. A week passes and Kakashi tells them that he volunteered them for the Chunin exams and they have 2 weeks to train. And that is what they do. Naruto begins training with the Ramen guy to be able to use ramen style taijutsu. And I know what you're thinking, for fuck's sake, but you're gonna understand in a bit. But after this, the first of the Chunin exams happens. The first test happens, and with Naruto being insanely smart, like the smartest thing that's ever been alive due to that ramen he ate like a year back, he finishes this test with the fastest score ever. He completed it in 10 seconds. And he ends up, as he's walking up to hand his sheet, he passes Sasuke and Sakura the answers, meaning they both break the record as well. We now go to the Forest of Death. And during the start of it, where they get explained what they have to do and all that, Naruto isn't paying attention. He's playing attention on this weird person with long hair and a long tongue. They're giving off a weird type of energy, and Naruto does not trust it at all. But the exam has to go on, and it begins. Literally within 1 minute, Naruto sends out a ramen style clone. A ramen clone jutsu, that's it. And they all immediately come back with 10 scrolls, as Naruto did not pay attention to what he needed to do. He just grabbed as many as he could in that time. And seeing this, Sasuke begins laughing, saying, "You really are built different, Naruto." And anyway, as they're walking through the forest, Naruto tells everyone to stand on guard, and that creepy guy Naruto was focused on before drops down from the tree and begins talking and going, "Sasuke, I'll give you one chance to come with me." Before he can even finish the sentence, Naruto yells, "Shut your bitch ass up, Orochimaru." And then Orochimaru panics, saying, "How do you know who I am?" And Naruto says, "Well, you see, I've been trained by someone and they are pretty well informed, and I know you're a little bitch who likes doing experiments on people, on kids, because you're a little pussy who can't fight grown men." He begins to panic, thinking no one should know my identity, but then he begins to laugh, saying, "Well, there's no point of hiding it now," and he tears away the skin that was on his face. He launches himself at Naruto, but caught off guard, Naruto easily spins round and uppercuts him hard, sending him flying into the sky. And then Naruto says, "Ramen style, ramen arms," and his arms extend infinitely, grabbing Orochimaru out of the sky. Orochimaru's arms can do this, but this is ramen style, so it's just superior, isn't it? And Naruto slams him back down. Orochimaru continues to try to run away, but Naruto won't let him. He begins bitching him, like left, right hook, and he hits Orochimaru, with a Ramen, and it completely obliterates the lower half of Orochimaru's body, but he manages to heal, and he goes, "What is that jutsu I needed? It's powerful." And Naruto laughs, saying, "Oh, fuck off, you're not going to learn this jutsu." He then yells, "Ramen Hurricane," spinning his foot around. This is a kick that the ramen guy taught him, and he hits Orochimaru hard, sending him flying backwards. And Naruto just laughs, saying, "Time to end it." He does hand signs and says, "Ramen prison jutsu," and little strands of ramen noodles shoot out of his arms, of course, the chakra type as well, wrapping around Orochimaru, creating a prison. And Naruto does a hand sign. It tears Orochimaru to shreds, absorbing his chakra, and Naruto eats its noodle. Naruto feels that strange energy he sensed circle around his body, but he won't be able to use it. And as such, they reach the end zone. After this, they get told they have another week to train before they have to do their fights. As soon as this was announced, Naruto immediately begins training with the ramen guy, and he arrives at the shop. The ramen guy already has a special ramen prepared for him, and he says, "I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy this one, I can sense it." Naruto gulps this one down, and the energy that he felt from Orochimaru when he ate him in ramen form, he feels it again, and this is actually Sage mode. This ramen was Sage ramen. And Naruto feels this synchronized with the energy you saw from Orochimaru, but then it evolves. Naruto's eyes immediately seem to get somewhat of a ramen noodle pattern in it, unlocking Ramen Sage Mode. He begins to practice with this with the ramen guy for a week, and then he's ready. He's confident that he will not be beaten at all, and he goes for the Chunin exams confident. Kiba versus Naruto doesn't happen, as Kiba knows Naruto. He immediately gives up, knowing if he don't, he's going to get hurt. And Neji versus Hinata sadly goes the same way, but before it can get too far with Hinata getting seriously injured, Naruto interrupts, but Neji gets pissed off, saying, "This is my destiny!" And he tries to fight Naruto, but Naruto looks to the left and to the right, activates his Rinnegan to slow down time, and he yells, "Almighty push!" He activates his Rinnegan again, and then Neji gets blown out of the arena into the wall. And no one even realizes this was Naruto who did it. And sorry guys, you had that Discord notification. I'm gonna go tell them to shut up. But anyways, after this fight, it was Naruto versus Neji, and Neji was on demon time. Well, at least he thought he was. And it begins. Neji rushes at Naruto, trying to give him a speech about how it's his destiny to win this, but before he can even get the full sentence out, Naruto boots his drawers, sending him flying back. Naruto's holding him back because he wants to enjoy this. Neji's holding his jaw and says, "How dare you, I'm a member of the Hyuga clan, how dare you fight back?" Naruto begins laughing, saying, "You entitled little fuck. Who the fuck told you can come to the Chunin exams and not expect me to fight back?" Neji goes, "Well, you should know best, I'm the Hyuga clan, you don't want smoke with us." And Naruto starts laughing. Who the fuck gives a, who cares what clan you are? Hey old man, third Hokage, just because he's in the Hyuga clan doesn't mean I can't fight back. I swear it's against the rules trying to use your clan to like rig it. The third Hokage says, "That is true, I shall disqualify you, Neji, if you try it again." Neji goes, "How dare you, you don't know what my clan possesses." That's when Hayashi, the leader of the Hyuga clan, stands up and says, "Oh, you second branch, you lower branch brat, shut your mouth trying to use our name to win. If you can't win with your own strength, then piss off out of the arena." Neji goes, "It's fine, I'll show you how superior the clan is anyway, and I'll show you how my destiny is written." Naruto goes, "Yada yada yada, you're just running your mouth, you're not doing nothing, I'm the only one who landed a blow and you're still giving me all this verbal, can you shut up?" And Neji rushes in, trying to yell, "Gentle fit," but Naruto just dodges out the way and uppercuts this man, and then before he even flies up too high, he grabs him by his leg and slams it down. And he gets really bored. Neji uses rotation, and Naruto says, Naruto ends up charging out a bunch of Ramen Sage Mode chakra into his arm without anyone noticing, and he rips through Neji's rotation. This makes his skin tough enough to where this rotation don't do nothing, and he grabs Neji by his hair and that's begins spinning him round like a little Beyblade, innit? And then he slams him down. He begins to get on top of Neji, just pummeling him into the ground. At first, the first punch seemed light, but every single time Naruto punches it, it gets harder, and eventually the ground literally is getting smashed beneath him. Oh, sorry. Eventually, Naruto lets Neji up, and Neji begins to stumble towards him, and Naruto says, "Let me show you this. Ramen style, ramentation." And he spins around as ramen noodle. He doesn't even spin. Ramen noodles shoot out of his body and begins spinning around him. Neji hits it, and his arm gets torn up, and he gets sent flying backwards, knocking him out. And Naruto cancels it, and he says, "This is why ramen is superior." For those who are thinking, well, doesn't anyone catch on to Naruto's ramen themed moves? They just think that Naruto is strong enough to take the mick with it. He's strong enough and he likes ramen, so that's what he's using. And as such, Naruto is announced the winner. Next fight is Lee versus Naruto, as I wanted you to see like how it works with Naruto and Lee's different taijutsu styles. It begins with Naruto and Lee rushing at each other. Lee's taijutsu, of course, is incredible, but it's nowhere near what Naruto has, so Naruto is easily dodging every little thing he does. And in turn, he realizes that Lee's been held down. He hits Lee in the chest, winding him, and he grabs onto his ankle weights and tears them off, chucking him behind him. As he felt the weight, he was impressed, thinking that's actually a lot heavier than I thought. When it hits the ground and makes that massive explosion, everyone thinks the same thing. Lee goes, "How could you tell I was wearing weights? I only meant to take them off when it's a serious fight." Naruto goes, 1, how dare you disrespect your opponent like that? You never hold back in a fight. He looks at Kakashi when he says it, and Kakashi smiles, thinking, that's my student. And secondly, I could tell because she was just slow. From what I've heard from my sensei, I'm meant to be really good at taijutsu, but I'm getting bored. Hearing this, Lee immediately apologises, saying, you're right, I shouldn't be holding back. I'll give it my all from here. Lee immediately jumps into the third gate. And Naruto is actually impressed. Lee moves at speeds that Naruto hasn't really seen before. Well, he has, but not from anyone else except for the ramen guy. Naruto leans all the way back, nearly hitting the floor, dodging Lee. As Lee flies past him, Naruto grabs onto his ankle and says, ramen style, spinning throw, slam. He spins Lee's round 1,000 times and then slams it hard into the ground to the point the entire floor in the arena just shatters. Lee throws a bit of his spine crack, but he ain't giving up. He launches himself back up and yells, leave hurricane. Naruto in return yells, ramen hurricane. And both their kicks collide. Naruto overpowers Lee and sends Lee's leg. Not only does Naruto hear a visible crack, Lee gets spun and slammed into the arena wall. Naruto is impressed. He is clapping loud, saying, that's it, come on, don't give up. Hearing Naruto cheer him on, something is lit within Lee, and power soars within him as he enters the 5th stage of the 5th gate of, I don't know the name. And seeing this guy wants to step in, but Naruto says, don't you dare. Lee rushes at Naruto, and Naruto decides to eat this punch. Eating it directly, getting hit in the nose. Naruto gets sent flying backwards, tumbling in the arena. He sits up and he feels blood come out of his nose. And he smiles, saying, this is the first time in years I've actually bled. Lee smiles and says, I'm really out of breath. I appreciate you let me hit you, but this is a real fight. That's disrespectful to your opponent, ain't it? Naruto smiles and says, true. Time to end it. Oh, sorry guys, I just got really lightheaded doing them deep breaths. Oh, 1 sec. Oh, okay, you know what, I'm gonna be back in a minute. Naruto begins to charge up his chakra. And he begins yelling, ramen gate, first ramen gate, open, second ramen gate, open, third, and he continues doing this. Everyone's confused, especially my guy. And he begins shivering, but not shivering like he's scared. He goes, he's making fun of the 8 gates. But then he realises, wait. Oh, sorry guys, that Pepsi's messing me up. That isn't the 8 gates, that's different. This is something totally different. This is Naruto's ramen style of it. And it's far superior. And with literally a second, Naruto appears in front of Lee and literally jabs his chin. But I'm telling you, the jab causes a shockwave to shoot out from behind Lee, knocking him unconscious instantly. And then we have Sasuke versus Gaara. That goes exactly the same, by the way. Even Sasuke wins even more because his Sharingan's maxed out right now. And not that we're Genko, but it's still out. Oof! So in turn, Gaara goes berserk and begins trying to rampage around the village. And Naruto just beats the shit out of him. To the point where each stage he gets stronger, but Naruto just doesn't care. Shukaku is swinging his arm around, attempting to crush Naruto's bones, and Naruto blocks it and with her own punch destroys Shukaku's arm. Eventually we get to the point where Gaara is still small, but he's nearly full Shukaku. And he decides, you know what, let's change this up a bit. He does hand signs and says, ramen style, ramen broth bullet. And he shoots out a weird, somewhat looking like water bullet, but it's actually the broth of ramen. But I'm telling you, this is hotter than the sun. And it burns the entirety of the Shukaku Gaara's body, causing extreme pain to the point Gaara actually passes out and the real Shukaku is revealed. He begins rampaging in the forest, trying to kill animals, killing anything he can even see. And Naruto jumps up into the sky, and for the first time, Naruto says, Kurama, are you ready? And they enter KCM2. Shukaku senses the Fairytail's Fox's chakra and he goes, you dumb fox, working with a human. I'm to all the talk about humans deserve nothing but death. But Shukaku can't even get another word before Naruto appears right beneath him, kicking him high into the air. And he then yells, ramen style, ramen change jutsu, as little ramen shoot out of his back in the form of chains wrapping around Shukaku. I bet you're wondering, ain't this the Uzumaki style like chakra chains? But no, that was just a small copycat of this that they learned after Remember, the ramen guy didn't always have this appearance. He changes over time so no one catches on. He is a 1,000-year-old god. And that's something that they learnt by copying him in his training, a much weaker version. And these wrap around the entirety of Shukaku, sealing off his chakra completely. He can't even move. He begins saying, "Please let me go." Naruto goes, "No." Shukaku goes, "Pretty please let me go." Naruto goes, "No." "Pretty, please let me go," with a cherry on top. Naruto goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake, shut up." And he ends up completely absorbing Shukaku into these chakra strands, and then he turns it into a bowl of ramen and munches it, absorbing the entirety of the One-Tailed chakra without becoming its Jinchuriki. With this, Gaara is no longer Jinchuriki, but he had it extracted without having to die. And he's now saved from the nightmares without actually having to die. And his last memory from this was Naruto was the one who saved him. We now go to a gloomy, dark cave, the Akatsuki lair. And they're all having a meeting about how the One-Tails has disappeared, and it was Naruto Uzumaki who did it. And as such, Naruto Uzumaki is now their new #1 target. They need to prepare, and they prepare right. They're going to gather all the tailed beasts quick time. They're no longer going to take as long as they did in canon. And they're going to hunt down Naruto Uzumaki and kill him. Sorry guys, it's like 1 AM for me right now. I'm so tired. I keep on having to pause so I can yawn. After the Chunin exams, due to Naruto saving the village, his reward was he was promoted to a Jonin. And as another reward, he asked to be allowed to leave the village for 3 years, so him and the ramen guy could travel the world, which is in reality so they could train. We're now going to go on a 3-year training out. Actually 2 years and 11 months. As they still need time to get back to the village. In this training arc, Naruto learns a new type of jutsu. He learns how to actually master Ramen Sage Mode. And he learnt more about his Rinnegan and the ability to slow down time, which is unique to him. But in this, Naruto has eaten a bunch of special ramen, such as one that literally made him bulk out even more. He's like 6'5", and if you've seen Sung Jin-woo from Sololeveling, he has a body like that. So he's muscular, but he's not like so muscular where he's like he can't even fit into his own clothes. Not only this, he also ate a ramen that gave him insane speed, an insane amount of chakra. What else? What can I add? I'm going off script a little bit here, guys. He also ate a ramen that you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what? I'm gonna react a bit. Let me get these drawings up. We now go to Naruto, who's just made it back into the village. He's been greeted by everyone. Right now, he's 6'5" and he's hench like Sung Jin-woo. But before Naruto could greet every single person that he wanted to, he feels an insane amount of chakra rushing towards the village, and he flies up into the sky. Yes, he can fly, and what? Let's see a version of his mighty push, just on a much larger scale, hurling towards them. He smiles, thinking, finally, a worthy challenge. I can finally go full power. And he flies full speed. Flies full speed and breaks through this almighty push with a Ramengan on a larger scale, so basically an Adama Ramengan. And just to see a man with the same eyes as his Rinnegan, he attempts to question him, but before he can even get any questions out, he's attacked by 5 others with the same hair colour and the same colour eyes. He recognises it as not 5 other individuals, but a version of him, just different, made with the Rinnegan. And Naruto begins to body them, using his ramen taijutsu. He's absolutely mocking it, like he's just beating the shit out of some of them. He yells ramen style noodle whip arm, and it's why he moves his arm in such a way it looks like a noodle, and he whips them with it. It tears through skin. That's how he defeated 2 of them. And then another one he just defeats with what should I use? Ramen style, ramen bonded. No, ooh, that sounds a bit mad. Ramen blade jutsu, blade made out of ramen chakra things, and it slashes through him. And then one of them who could absorb chakra ends up wrapping around Naruto and begins absorbing his chakra. Naruto activates Ramen Sage Mode, and the person absorbing his chakra gets turned into a ramen noodle. Same way with Toad Sage Mode, you absorb too much, you become a toad. Same with Ramen Noodle, you put Ramen Sage Mode, you absorb too much, you become a ramen noodle. Finally, he fights Pain, and using his Ramen Sage Mode, he's unaffected by any attacks thrown at him. Literally, he's getting really bored. He thought this would be a challenge, and in the end, he decks him hard, sending him flying, I mean like bad. And Pain says, "Planetary devastation." And Naruto sees it flying down towards him, and he says, I don't think so. He says, massive Rasengan. Massive Ramen, and I mean it's massive, like it's the same slice as a planetary devastation. And he absolutely destroys it, making the ground shake with the pure shock that comes from it. And then he appears in front of Pain and says, "Time for you to taste the power of my new jutsu. Ramen style Ramen Shuriken." This is the Rasen Shuriken, but ramen style, bro. And he chucks out Pain. This completely obliterates him, and this was powerful enough to destroy 4 of the Leaf Village if it really wanted to, and that's him not using full power. Naruto thinks this is over, as with his strength he has got a bit cocky, and he flies back down to the village, and everyone's cheering for me. He's chucking them in the air. He's getting chucked in the air. Naruto, Naruto. But now we cut to Nagato, who's hidden in his paper tree. He's thinking, damn, I couldn't do what I really wanted to, but it doesn't matter, as he does the handstands and he activates Rini Rebirth. Naruto can sense the insane amount of chakra flying out of Naruto, and it soon finds its way to Madara Uchiha, resurrecting him. Yes, this plan was done earlier than it was meant to, but they had no other choice. Obito, sensing this as well, knew that the plan went wrong, but don't matter. Naruto can sense the massive spike in chakra. Oops. And he teleports there, but he's too late. He can see that Nagato's already dead, and he can sense Madara Uchiha's intense chakra reawakening. Naruto rushes back to the Leaf Village to protect it, of course, not realising that he just left Nagato's body with the running gun for Obito to come and steal what he does. Naruto arrives at the village just as he sees Madara about to kill the third Hokage, and he flies in yelling, "Ramen style, Ramen Hurricane!" Kicking Madara in the face hard, causing literally a sonic boom, and sending Madara to fly far, far away. Madara awakens the Rinnegan in one eye after this hit, as it was powerful enough to cause a near-death thing, innit? And the other eye Obito gives to him. I'm sorry guys, this script's annoying me, I rushed it, like it's typing out and I didn't spell it right. Obito gives him the other eye, and Madara begins laughing. Ha ha ha. Now this world shall know the true power of Madara Uchiha, the power of the Rinnegan, never seen before. Naruto then activates his own Rinnegan, laughing and catching Madara off guard. Naruto and Madara is fighting, and Naruto gets so bored. He begins slowing down time and blitzing Madara, literally, like, he'd slow down time and throw 100 punches and then, let time go back to normal. And Madara has no clue what's going on. No one notices Naruto's abilities, so all of a sudden, it seems like a fair fight, and then all of a sudden, he's getting blitzed by 100 punches. Seeing that he's losing, which is not at all part of his plan, he summons the Ten Toes. Unknown to Naruto, all the other Jinchuriki had been captured while Naruto was training. And the only reason he didn't know is it was purposely kept from him by the Ramen guy for his final test. This was his final test to fight against the Ten Toes. And as the Akatsuki said, their plan was sped up to catch all the other Jinchuriki. Naruto, of course, is not scared though, and he starts beating the shit out of the Ten Toes with ease, and summons up 100 Ramen clones, and they all use giant Rasengan on the Ten Toes. Rasengan, I mean. And remember, this Rasengan is 100, millions times more powerful than a Rasengan, so the Ten Toes is nearly obliterated by this. But of course, it has its healing factor, and it manages to heal enough for Naruto to absorb it, becoming the Ten Toes Jinchuriki. Naruto activates KCM2 along with Ramen Sage Mode and begins fighting. In secret, Obito has snuck into the Leaf Village and is about to go off and kill people who are important to the Leaf Village, as he realises the plan isn't going as it should, so as long as they can do irreversible damage, he's happy. But as he's sneaking through the Leaf Village, he goes past the ramen shop and he can sense the old presence of Naruto's chakra and him growing up there, and he realises this is where Naruto lives. And if they can't win this war, Naruto's going to lose all that's dear to him. And he sneaks inside. But the only thing he's found is Ayame, the Ramen guy's daughter, and also Naruto's sister, if you think about it. I know I've skimmed past her, but it's because I want to focus on the OP bits, as this is going to be too long if I don't. And he attempts to kill her by surprise by rushing at her with a kunai out. Before his hand can even touch her, it explodes as Ayame turns around with her Rinnegan activated. Obito clearly shitting himself. He's shitting bricks. No, he's shitting cement. Yo, it's how many goddamn people has the Rinnegan in this village? But before you can even attempt to escape using Kamui, Ayame pierces her hand through Obito's chest. Of course, it doesn't kill Obito, but he wasn't ready for what happens next. And she says, and she looks him in the eyes, seeing the Rinnegan and the Sharingan, and says, "You don't deserve those eyes." And she rips them out of Obito's skull. And she says, "Almighty push." Using this almighty push on the hand that was inside Obito, he explodes from inside out. And Ayame is laughing, saying, "Did you really think I'd be weak, knowing who my father is? Oh wait, you don't know who my father is." Let's cut back to Madara versus Naruto. Naruto is handling Madara pretty easily, due to this, Madara begins going crazy and berserk, letting Nintendo's chakra actually pour out a lot more than he meant to. And Naruto's just watching this happen with his Rinnegan. Something's happening. The chakra that's leaking out isn't going into the atmosphere, it's spinning, it's rotating, it's forming a seal. No, it's forming something that breaks a seal. And finally, it was broken. Madara's body begins to bubble up. And Naruto backs up as that does not look healthy. You don't want to catch whatever that is. And Madara's body explodes, leaving behind a gorgeous woman with pretty white hair, white skin, white eyes. And Naruto feels the immense amount of chakra she possesses. So he begins to get ready for a fight. That's when it happens. The Ramen guy appears in front of them both, teleporting them to another dimension. Naruto yells, demanding to know what's going on. "Why did you interfere with my fight?" But the Ramen guy quietly says, "Naruto, that's my wife." Naruto is shocked, but even more shocked. For the first time in years, Naruto sees the Ramen guy's true eyes. The only time he saw them was when he had his first test to be able to enter the academy. One red Rinnegan and one black Rinnegan. We all know this white woman to be Kaguya, and she lays eyes on him and begins to break down crying. She begins begging him, mumbling, not even able to get her words out properly. Please, 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 not again, Toichi, not again, please don't kill me again." The Ramen guy says, with tears nearly in his eyes, "I don't have a choice, my love. I made it my duty to protect this world, not this universe a millennia ago. And if I don't seal you, your chakra would be the thing to cause this world's destruction, and you know it." Naruto attempts to cut in with an idea, but Kaguya rushes at him in rage. She recognizes him as the problem, and she has a white ash rod ready to inhale him, to disintegrate him. But without even moving, the Ramen guy stopped her in her tracks as she gets slammed into the ground, as if he could control the gravity around her. And the mood immediately changes, and I mean immediately. And the Ramen guy's voice changes to something that Naruto has never heard before.
"Kaguya Otsutsuki, if you dare to try and cause any sort of harm to my son again, and I mean any, even if a single strand of hair on his body is damaged, I don't care about how much I love you, how much I have loved you, or how much I will regret doing what I will do. I will end you without a second thought, without any hesitation. Do I make myself clear?"
After hearing this, Naruto doesn't even understand why. He begins to cry, even though it was kind of obvious to everyone else. It had never actually been stated by either one of them that they was father and son, and the void that Naruto always has in his chest as a kid, of being an orphan, having no parents, even though it was slowly being filled over time by Sasuke, by the Ramen guy himself, it was still the tiniest little bit empty. It was finally full. It was finally gone, and he replies, still crying, "Thanks, Dad." He then goes on to say, from what I was trying to say earlier, "I could protect the world that in your place, while you go and be happy with your love. And if things ever truly get too out of control or so bad that I can't handle them on my own, I will call for your help." After thinking it over, the Ramen guy and Kaguya agree, and they both begin to make a ramen right before Naruto's eyes. It was beautiful. It had any colour you could ever imagine, and the ramen guy gives it to Naruto while saying, "This is the last ramen I will ever cook for you. Cherish it." Naruto eats it and he feels an insane amount of power. He feels infinity course through his veins. His power goes off the charts. I mean off the charts. He looks at his reflection. He sees his Rinnegan go from purple to red and black. He had never had so much power in his life. It was actually incredible. And before he could say anything though, the ramen guy then goes, this world, no, this universe is now under your protection, my son. Do me proud." He begins to vanish. Naruto gets teleported back to his original world where Madara's body lays lifeless and defeated. While Naruto looks up to the sky crying, but still smiling, and says, "Dad, I won't let you down, I promise." We now skip to 5 years. The war is over. We are 5 years in the future. Naruto has mastered all the power that he was given, and now runs the ramen shop with Ayame, while Sasuke became Hokage. Over the years, Naruto and Hinata fell in love and had 2 kids named Boruto and Himawari. And Naruto is viewed by everyone in the world as the strongest person that has ever lived, and probably ever will live. And the world, due to this, the shinobi world should I say, is peaceful and happy. Now we cut to Boruto's 6th birthday, where as a gift, Naruto gives him a bowl of ramen, the same ramen that he ate for the first time from the ramen guy after he was took in. And power explodes in Boruto as it once did from Naruto. And at this point in our story is where the real journey begins. Anyway guys, I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you share with your friends, family, like and subscribe, comment down below for whatever else you want to see. And yeah guys, other than that, I know this film is not as long as you probably want it to be, but it's as long as I've been able to make it. Please forgive me. I know it's, oh my god, how can I do this to you? You don't deserve it. Oh, shut up. But yeah guys, if you did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, comment down below what else you want to see. This is an April Fool's special. It probably won't make it out in time, but I will try my best. And yeah guys, it is insane what you have been doing for my channel lately. So remember, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss another daily upload. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Snapchat. Check out the thumbnail artist in the description. He's an amazing person. He's the one who makes these videos possible. And yeah guys, other than that, I won't drag you out for too long. Please do enjoy this amazing What If that I put effort into. And yeah, I did this all in one sitting if you couldn't tell. And other than that guys, peace out and enjoy the rest of your days or evenings or Christmas or whatever sort of festival you're doing. And yes, happy Ramadan. I didn't forget. I don't know if it's today, but one of my mates reminded me to say happy Ramadan to you lot. So please have an amazing Ramadan. I'm not really religious myself. Like, my family is Catholic, but I didn't really get it when I grew up. I'm not going into religion on this, but even despite me not being religious, I can still appreciate that it's something important to you and it's something it's serious for you. So please enjoy it. Live your life. Do whatever the hell you're meant to do. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I don't know what you're meant to be doing, but just enjoy it. And remember that there's always people there you can talk to about anything you want to talk about. And this ain't going to be if you're struggling to talk. I mean literally anything, mate. I'm literally going to go hop and call to my mate right now talking to him about this What If. But yeah guys, I don't know why I just started going on a rant. I'm trying to get this video to 1 hour. Actually yeah, you know what? We're going to get to 1 hour. Because I never get to go on a rant. So lately, my life has been going pretty alright. In school, it's been a bit hectic. I had to do my work experience, but they wanted me to do it at a horse farm, innit? And I just didn't want to do it. So I just refused, and they let me do it in school. But then they started making me pick up litter, so I thought, but on this, I'm going on maternity leave, bruv. Or paternity, I guess. And yeah. What else? I have physio for my knee soon. They're going to tell me if I need surgery or not. But they already said most likely I won't need it. Yeah, anything else that's happened lately? Yeah, like, give me some manga recommendations, some anime recommendations, you know. I ain't watched Attack on Titan, I won't lie, and I ain't watched the rest of Tokyo Revengers. But I'm gonna try. I won't even lie to you lot, I ain't even been able to finish Demon Slayer Demon 1. Because after I saw like the first 4 episodes were a training episode, I thought, what the fuck am I watching? But But other than that, guys, I'm not going to hold you up for too long. I know most of you ain't even staying to this point. But please do enjoy this Whatif, and we are so close to 1 hour. I'm going to try and end it exactly on 1 hour. And see you guys later, bye!